Hello everybody, Scorpio Caesar here, and in case you've been living under a rock lately, the Xbox 360 has been a hot topic in the game collecting community on YouTube as of recent, and that's because not only is the Xbox Live Marketplace store closing down in July, but you also have more popular YouTubers with those big ass sub counts that are unfortunately causing games to rise up in price because it creates FOMO, and it also has an effect of resellers buying up all the games they can on eBay and Mercari and video game stores and putting those up for sale at inflated prices. So today I want to talk about how it feels from an actual collector's perspective and talk about some of the Xbox 360 games that I had to conjure up that I've been missing as of late and how much I had to pay for them. So anyways, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the CesArcade.
Get ready.
Alright, so we have quite a few games to talk about here today, and we also have a special case for one game in particular that I want to get out of the way. One game in particular that's shooting up in price, if you check out on eBay and Mercari, if you could even find them at this point, is a game called Wet. Now this is a third-person action game done in a very grindhouse style effect. You got this main character named Ruby. She's an awesome badass with guns. When you do all these kind of acrobatic moves, the game slows down and has this really cool cinematic effect. Think Stranglehold, but with a leading lady in it. Now, this game in particular has shot up in price, especially on the 360. You got people asking around $55 to $65 for this game in particular. And I'm here to say, you don't have to spend that much. Now, if you're a game collector, you probably have both the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. And up until recently, it was the PS3 version of games that tend to cost more. Now, that's not the case. The Xbox 360 game is pretty much double of what the PS3 version can run you. So I ended up picking this one up for around $35 on eBay. And honestly, you're still getting a great version with the PS3 version. So if you want my suggestion, any game you can get on the PS3 instead and it'll cost less, probably better to go that route. But yes, I get it, 360 games tend to run better than the PS3 counterparts in most cases. So let's move on. Now the next three games I got here were claimed in a claim sale. Although this was kind of late after the claim sale had already happened, so I reached out to my buddy the Retro Gaming Zone, and I was interested in three games that were left unclaimed. Those games were Dragon Age Origins The Ultimate Edition. Now this includes Dragon Age Origins as well as Dragon Age Origins Awakening. And you got all the DLC on 2 discs. Don't get the standalone versions, get this version if you want the complete experience because it's all here on a disc. And on the PS3 in particular, it's also on 1 disc. So if you can hunt this one down, my suggestion is do so because it's a great Bioware RPG that doesn't get enough love these days. And I've always wanted to check it out, so now that I finally have it, it's awesome. Next up, we have another 360 game. This one I go way back with. This is Mafia II. I remember when I originally got this game back when I was working at GameStop, I got the best numbers for the week, or was it month, and my store manager ended up rewarding me this game, and I did a very questionable unboxing for it at the time.
So, boom, badoosh, bada bing, boom!
It was bad, but it's still there. And this one in particular is backwards compatible on current Xbox consoles, so keep that in mind. And next up from the Retro Gaming Zone, we also have the Orange Box. It has Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and Episode 2, as well as Team Fortress 2, which never got any of the PC updates, and Portal. Most importantly, Portal. I love me some Portal, and of course I love me Half-Life 2. This is a game that I used to own physically, but now I own digitally. And thanks to Retro Gaming Zone, I now, once again, own this physically, and I cannot recommend this one enough, especially on the Xbox 360 because this is one of those cases where the PS3 version does not run anywhere near as well as the Xbox 360 version. And keep in mind, this version is also backwards compatible on current day Xbox consoles, including the One X and Series X. So you might want to check this one out if you get the chance, because this is the version to own. Now honestly, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, he probably paid an arm and a leg for these, and no, I did not. Retro Gaming Zone, this is why you're the OG. $41 for these 3 shipped. Thank you, Retro Gaming Zone. That's why I got your logo represented here, baby. One of these days, I'm gonna meet you in a convention. I'm gonna give you a big damn hug, brother. Next up, we have another Xbox 360 game, and this is Too Human, a game from Microsoft Game Studios and Silicon Knights. This game got torn to shreds when it first came out. A lot of people were hyped for it. It ended up getting ripped apart by the critics and users alike. Me personally, I never actually played it. I didn't pay a lot for this game, and this is a game that's still under $10. Keep in mind, it's also backwards compatible, and it's an exclusive that's since been delisted. Okay, so funny story. I take back what I said about the game being delisted. It wasn't necessarily delisted, but according to my research, the developer Silicon Knights got into a legal argument with Epic and ended up going to court over it. Epic won, and thus all physical copies of the games were basically destroyed. Not really, but you know what I mean. And the game is no longer allowed to be sold. However, it is available to be downloaded on the Xbox One and 360 for nothing. It's free. So you're better off probably just going down that route rather than wasting your money on a physical copy like I did. Just wanted to share that with you. Next up, we got another 360 game that was also released on the PlayStation 3. Now, I'm not too sure whether or not where it performs better, but I tend to go with the rule of the 360, where the 360 version is going to run better, look a little better, and probably have less screen tearing. But that game is Damnation by Codemasters. Now, this game kind of came out, got like 5s, 6, maybe 4s across the board. Nobody cared about it. Everybody forgot about it. Me personally, I almost forgot about it until Keisha Boy Games was like, look, check this out. You ever play this one? And I was like, nope, never did. What I've played from it so far, however, it's very interesting. The game is a third-person shooter. It's got some cover-based mechanics, and it also tries to play a little bit like an action platformer, kind of like Uncharted in a way. You can jump off the walls, you can shimmy off ledges. It's an odd game. It feels okay. The guns are punchy, but the aiming doesn't quite feel there. You know what I mean? Like when you shoot somebody, you like when I shoot somebody in a video game, I want to know that I hit them, and there really isn't any feedback until the enemy goes down in this game. That being said, I didn't pay too much for it. I paid, what, $7 for this one on Mercari? Next up, this is a game that's since disappeared off eBay, and it's almost impossible to get an actual copy of it. I don't know why, I don't know what's going on, if this game was uncommon to begin with, but this is called Flatout Ultimate Carnage. Now this game, I remember owning back when it originally came out. I played a bit of it, I thought it was pretty tough, and then I ended up trading it in for something else. I think all of us at the time had to do a lot of trade-ins at GameStop in order to get the newest release. And hey, as long as you don't feel bad about it, I don't feel bad about it, because most of those games I got in my collection again anyways. But Flatout Ultimate Carnage was one of the last games of the Flatout series that had the Bugbear developers, who were the original developers of the first 2 Flatout games on the 6th generation of consoles. These games are all about speed, mayhem, and destruction, multiple paths, and the stunt mode. This mode is hilarious. Trust me, you see what I'm talking about here. Definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of this type of game. However, like I said before, to find this one on eBay complete in its box is almost damn near impossible. And when I do see it pop up, people are charging ludicrous prices for it, like $60 to $70, $80. Like, what are you doing, people? This game wasn't that rare to begin with, so what's going on? I don't know. Honestly, all I'm saying is, This is one of the ones you might want to look out for because it is an Xbox 360 exclusive that unfortunately isn't backwards compatible to my knowledge. However, it's still a great game worth owning. So Flatout Ultimate Carnage. I saw somebody list this one for like $29.99. Sometimes you get lucky. And last but not least, we have a game from Software that it pops up in a lot of these guys' lists, and it's a game that honestly, from the first level alone, is definitely worth playing. Ninja Blade. Now this is a game that I remember playing the demo for when it originally came out and never playing it again. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a cool Ninja Gaiden style game, but it never really caught my attention. Now that I go back to play it, I see where they got the inspirations for all the QuickTime events and cinematic stuff they did in Ninja Gaiden 3. All I'm saying is, Ninja Blade did it a lot better than the third game in that series. So if you haven't checked out Ninja Blade, it's a little weird, it's a little crazy, and it's so awesome. Definitely worth picking up if you're a collector for the Xbox 360. Me personally, I had to pay around $44.99 for this one, around that price range. It was pricey, but honestly, I don't regret it one bit because I know I have a solid game on my hands right now with Ninja Blade on the Xbox 360. I got some more games that I definitely have to pick up and share with you in upcoming videos, but I want to know in the comment section below, what are some games on the Xbox 360 that you have to pick up before the store closes and the prices go up? What are some games that you ended up paying more than you really wanted to on the Xbox 360? And is the Xbox 360 even your jam? Or are you PS3 guys through and through? Or do you like the Wii? My advice to all of you collectors out there, especially if you're collecting for the Xbox 360, especially now, search on eBay, search newly listed for that certain game that you're looking for, and check daily. Multiple times a day if you have to even. Because sometimes, like in the case with Flatout Ultimate Carnage, you get lucky. And most importantly, don't panic. My advice is, you still got time to collect for the Xbox 360. If it looks like it's getting a little too crazy, take a breather, take a step back, think about it. Do you really need these games or do you just want them? And can you get them for cheaper elsewhere? That's the most important thing. And anyways, I hope today's video was helpful and informative for some of you Xbox 360 collectors. I wish you all well in your future hunts as always. And of course, if you like videos like this and want to see more, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out. And hit the little bell icon so you're notified when future videos go up in your sub feed from me at the CesArcade. I wish you all a good game and a good night.
Super Retro.